Welcome to another episode of Dad Survives Minecraft. In this episode, it's going to be slightly different. This episode, I'm going to try and do a bit of a tutorial style build for what is going to be my villager breeder with a little bit of a carrot farm as well. So I get two for the price of one. Let me take you through in this test world how I've got to my design, which is that one behind me over there, and then we'll get over onto the actual world and build it live for you all to watch and understand how it works. And then if we've got enough time at the end of this episode, I'd like to get into the nether, because I could do with some quartz, I could do with some ender pearls, because I want to get on the roof, because I've got more farms that I want to build early on. Let me take you through the stages I've gone to get to my combined villager breeder and carrot farm. Here you have a classic carrot farm. How do they work? Well, the villager in the farm, we'll call him Villager Bob.
I like collecting carrots, and I'm going to fill my pockets with carrots, and I'm going to replant carrots because I love carrots.
This guy, let's call him Steve, doesn't have any carrots.
I don't have any carrots. I'd like some carrots.
Now Bob, when his pockets are full, gives carrots to Steve, because Bob is nice. What will actually happen though, is Bob will throw some carrots at Steve, but us evil lords of these lands don't want Steve to have any food. They'll fall in this hopper and fall in this chest. Simple, right? I'm not going to go into how water hydrates the farmland and how you plant the carrots and all of that sort of stuff. This is more the simple way of this infinite carrot farm. This will just keep producing carrot and carrot and carrot. Now, the next step, breeding. Here we have Villager Frank and Villager Bob. Frank and Bob like carrots a lot, so they share their carrots, and what they do in here is they both collect carrots because they're both farmers. They both collect carrots, and eventually they'll have shared enough carrots between them to say, you know what, we're great mates. Why don't we have a little one running around with us? So inventories get full, they share some carrots, and as long as they can access some beds, so they need at least 3 because one each and one for little baby, Bob and Frank will have a little baby, and that baby will try and run over, because babies like jumping on beds. That baby will try and run over here and it will fall down this gap. Now this is why this works, because villagers don't see these trapdoors. They think they can get to these beds. So they're going to make a baby, and the little baby will run out, think he can get over this gap and fall down this hole. Simples. An infinite villager breeder. Because they can harvest the carrots themselves, they can fill up their pockets themselves, we will have baby villagers that will grow up for days. We can turn it off. Whoop. Now, Bob and Frank can't get to the beds. So they're like, we can't have a baby. Sorry.
Oh no, Frank, we can't have a baby because we can't get to the beds. Oh no.
So we can turn it off. Okay? I know it looks like there's no babies here, but there used to be lots. So you put these two together, we can make an infinite villager breeder and carrot farm. Simple. Now, the rates you get for carrots is dramatically reduced, because most of the time they're spending sharing carrots between each other and making babies. But you still get enough for a single player world, okay? And if you turn it off, the rates do go up a little bit, but because they've got to share with 2 villagers rather than just 1, then the rates aren't as good as just the farm, okay? but we do get enough. And as I'm on a single player, there's not loads of us. Actually, this is going to do me for food and for villagers. And you'll see over here, we have one who's all grown up. So this is that combination. I've just combined that farm and that farm to make this farm. Slight tweak on the design. I'm giving it a bigger area here for the two villagers to come into to try and throw carrots at I don't know, Steve. So they don't bump into each other now, so there's a greater chance of them throwing carrots, and 3 hoppers just to catch those carrots. Not bad, right? Not bad. This is what I'm going to breed? This is what I'm going to build on my world. Okay? I'll explain about this stuff in a bit. Let's talk about the rates that we get from this. If the breeding's on, running a 10-hour test, I got 2.5 stacks of carrots in 10 hours. Without breeding, I got over 3 stacks just. So you do get slightly better rates if you turn the breeder off. Now granted, 10 hours, that's not a lot of carrots, but imagine this in your spawn chunk, constantly loaded, constantly working. Those carrots will constantly fill up. And if you're going to eat that many carrots in a 10-hour period, then wow. Right, let's talk about the pickup system for these, and then we'll get into the main world and start building it. So as you can see, baby falls down. I did set the time tonight just to force that, otherwise we could have been here for ages. Falls down into a water stream, and this water stream can be as long as we like. Ideally, we make it long enough to take it quite far away from these beds. And this means those beds then free up for more babies. Because if they're this close, they still think they can get to those beds. So no more babies will come because these babies want those beds. Okay, what's this setup then? Well, little babies grow into big babies, and then they grow into big adults, like that guy over there. If you stand on this wall, you bob up and down, and the too tall villager, his head will hit this bit of water, and he'll rise up, and then he'll float along here. And this is how we can separate our babies from our adults. Because really, what we want is just adults for when we're dealing with villagers. So I want to be able to separate them. And I'll show you this. I'll just drop in an adult, and you'll see that that adult will come along the water, and you should push the babies out of the way, and his head will hit this bit of the block, and he'll start to rise up if the babies get out of the way. Come on, but there he goes, and up he goes, and along. Simple, right? The most important block in this setup is that piece of wall, because that's what makes them bob up and down, and that makes him bob up high enough to hit this. So that's 1 block, that's 2 blocks, that's the 3rd block. His head would be here. He bobs up and down and hits that block and rises up. Simple. Water stream, wall, couple of signs, more water, separated. The pickup system. Clearly, having 100 villagers in here is no help to anyone. What I want to be able to do is pull out a villager one at a time and send them off somewhere. We'll talk about where they go when we get to build that over on the live world, but this is just how we pick them up, because I thought this would go together well with the whole system. In Minecraft, if you have a rail underneath the block they're standing on, diagonally moving up a hill, again moving uphill past the block that they're on, a minecart running up underneath this block will pick up one of these guys. So I can have this set up and then send this rail off wherever I want. I've probably taken it up as high as I wanted to go. I could go higher, I could have not come up this high. As long as it's going up through that block, it will pick up one of these guys. In here, minecarts, and this is just a bit of redstone to hit a button so you can see him coming up. When this dispenser is powered, it also powers this rail, which sends the minecart off. And you see that in action. If I hit this button, minecart picks up a villager. Boom. Don't worry about what that is behind me. That's another episode. And don't worry about what's behind the spoiler wall. I'll show you that in another episode too. That is what we're going to build in the real world. Minecraft real world. I shall see you over there. Hi everyone, future me here. Just to let you know, the next clip, the audio has been corrupted. So I've had to do a voiceover. No idea how that's going to pan out, but hopefully what I do makes sense for you. Hello everyone, this is the voiceover man, trying to remember what we did at this bit. I'm introducing the world, and then we're going to wander over to where the farm's going to go. I kind of show you a little bit, and I look at my big spruce trees, because we've now got some spruce, and I've tidied up the farms a bit, as you can see. And down here is where we're going to put the carrot farm and villager breeder. And you can see I've dug out the area we need. The dirt goes in that big square there. We've got nice space around it to walk. The water goes in the middle. This hole I show you now is where the babies will run over and fall down, and the beds go in that gap there. And over here, that square there, is where Steve will sit, and the hopper goes there to collect the carrots, and we'll put a chest somewhere. Now we go off, and this minecart rail, and the rails have come from the various mines I've stolen them from, is for transporting the villagers to the farm. So you'll see over there the villagers in the boats. We get them over here, we get them out of their boats into a minecart and into the farm. As we wander back, we're now going to switch over to some time lapses of me actually building the farm, and I'll interrupt that as and when we're needed. Well, you can see the farm is built. We've got our bed area, we've got our hole for where the babies fall through. The redstone torch is next to an activator rail, so when they fall through here they'll just jump out of the cart. We'll then add 2 more carrot areas there. We've got a nice door to get in and out of, hoppers, chest. We've even got a pickup area ready for where we start breeding these villagers. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. We're not going to make it to the Nether today. We're not going to get the villagers in. But the next episode, what can I say? We will be moving villagers, and we will go to the Nether. Thanks for watching. As always, if you've enjoyed the episode, please do leave a like please leave some comments, and why not consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and if you don't like it, unsubscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.